This is a simple variation on the seated breathing exercise when we're bending our spine. So the idea of this is to give you a process to change how you interpret what's happening in your back, essentially. So we're going to get you to go down into a flexed position, and I'll talk you through the steps in a second. And the idea here is that when we're in a flexed position, we want to give you a safe movement experience that puts a little bit of load into your back. And when we're doing that, we can almost notice the sensations in your back. Notice that when the muscles contract, this is what it feels like, but this is safe, that there's no injury possible in this position in this way. And then we hold for a little bit of time. We're going to add a little bit of weight. So what we're essentially trying to do is give you a way to build evidence of safety for your brain about your back in a flexed position with some contraction going on. So you should feel that this gives you an ability to reprocess any sensations you have in your back and to tag them appropriately, essentially. So if the only way that you have been processing sensations in your back is, oh, I feel my back, that's getting irritated, that could lead me to a flare-up. This gives you a whole other way to get used to sensations in your back, to tag them as normal muscular contraction, and to know that you're safe. It's kind of a form of self-reassurance. So we'll go through the steps here. So effectively you're going to go chin onto chest, you're going to reach down, and if you find that, let's say you have a sticking point here and you feel, I feel quite stiff, you can breathe. So 5 breaths. And that breathing will just relax everything and stretch everything. So you've done your 5 breaths, you can go further, and you can again breathe in any sticking point you have. If you want, you can start to add now a little bit of weight. So from here, if I'm down in this position, I can take my book and hold it. And when I do that, I notice straight away a tiny little bit more work going on in my lower back. So a little bit more contraction here. If I take that weight off, I feel that my back is able to do less. Put the weight back in my hands and I feel a little bit more work in my back. So if I can hold the weight and then notice what's happening in my back, notice that there's a tiny little bit more contraction, feel that, and reassure myself that this is normal, this is safe, there's no injury possible here. That helps me build evidence for my brain about my back when my back is bent with a little bit of load. That is a very, very useful thing. Over time, you can progress that to something a little bit heavier. This is a 12.5 kilo kettlebell. You don't need to jump just as high as that straight away. But if I'm in this position and I hold, I now can feel a decent amount more contraction in my back. But again, I'm not injured. I'm not injuring myself. I am safe. This is what a normal contraction in my back feels like in a bent spine position, a flexed position. So I can hold for maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, pop the weight down again, and then I can gradually come back up. So we would go through repetitions like that, maybe 5, maybe 10 repetitions like that, where you hold for a little bit of time with some weight. And that will just help you to get used to sensations around your back again.